everybody, Randy Pedersen here for Extra Frame Extras. Sitting next to me, Mike J. Laneside. And Mike, you know, normally you're the guy doing the interviewing, but I thought we'd kind of change it up a little bit. I'm going to interview you. So we're going to start with my first question. What is it you do?
I provide cross-marketing and multimedia support for the Professional Bowlers Association. Try to maintain social media across Facebook and Twitter and different platforms, the PBA message board. And I guess what I try to do is corral the digital resources of the PBA to bring the news of PBA bowling to everybody around the world.
So basically, you're a social butterfly.
I try. I try to use you as my, as my model.
Right. Hey, do they pay you for that?
Pay?
Yeah, never mind. So, obviously, you're an avid bowler. You like watching the tour. You've watched it for years, given the fact that your shirt's got a couple of dinosaurs on it. Who's your favorite bowler of all time?
My favorite bowler of all time has got to be Earl Anthony.
Why is that?
Even though I'm a right-hander, I just enjoyed watching Earl, his tenacity, the doomsday strike machine. Back in that time frame, Earl as a competitor was just the top-notch competitor. And then on the flip side of that, I really enjoyed the player that really stood out in terms of personality. Yourself, Guppy Troop, and others. Ernie Schlegel, of course.
Who?
Ernie Schlegel, the bicentennial kid, 76, wore the, in fact, he used to wear the red, white, and blue outfits and inspired me as a junior bowling in Milwaukee in the late 70s. I hand sewed a pair of tight white pants with the stitching, and I did. It's embarrassing. There are photos out there.
You still have those?
I do, unfortunately.
Can you fit in them?
No.
Okay. All right, so favorite current player of today, 2012?
Favorite current player, I'd have to say Mike Fagan. Absolutely unique style. He's fun to watch. And then on the international side, another one that would be Andres Gomez. Love to watch Andres Gomez bowl. I love his follow-through. He's got a flair and a style about him that I just find very enjoyable to watch.
Who's the best player on tour right now?
Wow, best player on tour, it's definitely it's the Player of the Year argument. And this year was settled by player vote. Rash, Belmonte, and Fagan are among the three. Have you seen a closer Player of the Year vote in your time ever?
No, it was a great race, and I think there was an argument for all three players. I mean, you could have theoretically lumped Norm Duke in that same mix, but it was a great race, and I think one of the unique things about this season that we really haven't had in a while was the tremendous rivalry between Jason Belmonte and Sean Rash. And then it comes down to those two for the Player of the Year vote. So obviously a lot of action in this past season, a couple 300 games. We saw total dominance by two players at the World Series. We saw Mike Fagan come into his own, winning his first major, and really kind of, catapulting himself into the limelight and the Player of the Year conversation. So a lot of really good action. But there was one show that stuck out above all others for me, and I'll ask you, this past season, what was your best telecast?
The United States Open, hands down, in my mind. I think that was the greatest shot I've ever seen in competition. Pete Weber.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to not give that one the nod. And, I've done a lot of shows. I'm going, I think, on year 12, if they have me back. It's got to be top 3, maybe best show I've ever done. You just couldn't take your eyes off him, the whole telecast. You never knew what was going to come next.
Absolutely, and you with Gary Thorne in the booth, I think it was set up exactly proper, and then to have it play out the way it did. And Mike Fagan threw that was a great match. And to have it come down to that pinnacle moment, one shot, and to have him throw it as purely and as sweetly as he did. Just amazing to have been there.
I think a lot of people forget that Mike Fagan only lost by 1. They remember the strike, they remember the react, but I don't think they remember the score. It was a 1-pin match, and so Weber obviously had to have all 10. But I'm with you. I think it was the greatest show in recent memory for me, of course, my memory is not very good, but that's because I used to be a touring player. Yeah, it was, God, I mean, I can still vividly see that day, that entire show, that react when he threw the strike. I think the thing that I like most about Pete Weber is nothing he does is premeditated. It's totally spontaneous. And what was your thoughts when you saw that react, when the glasses came flying off? What went through your mind?
I loved it. I thought it was vintage Weber. It was absolutely genuine. And he had a range of emotions going through. He looked at Tracy. He had engaged the fans in the crowd. He knew the significance of winning one more than his dad had. And all of those things boiled together and came out in different ways. And as you know, looking back at the "Who do you think you are? I am," I'm just. I think it's profound. I think it expressed so many different things, and it was him reacting to the moment, and it was him celebrating what had happened, and it all came down. And then the spiking of the sunglasses and all of it, and then the embrace with Tracy at the end. I thought it was one of the most fabulous moments that I've had the privilege of witnessing.
Yeah, it was almost a perfect show, and I guess that's probably the best way to kind of put a bow on that. And this segment of Extra Frame Extras, this is Mike Jakubowski. This guy really brings a lot to the table, does some great work for the PBA, and we're lucky to have him. This is Randy Pedersen. I'm going to get back to the Storm booth. Thanks a lot for having me. Mike, thanks for being my guest on Extra Frame Extras.